So today I have this really cool little groove box that we're gonna be taking a look at. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Nefertiti Gold and I'm an electronic R&B artist. On this channel, you'll find videos about plugin reviews, beat videos, and even gear reviews just like this one. So this unit was actually sent to me by Woovebox for like my honest opinion. They do not get to see this video before it comes out, so this is just gonna be me expressing how I feel about it. Now, this video is not sponsored by Woovebox, but it is sponsored by DistroKid, and we'll talk about that a little later on. Now, when it comes to the packaging of this item, I feel like it's really simple, it's straightforward, and my favorite part about it is that it actually comes with this carrying case already, and it's pretty solid. I know that not a lot of companies will like actually give you a nice hard case with some of its gear. You kind of have to go out of your way to buy something separate. Now, another small portable piece of gear that this kind of reminds me of is actually the Orba 2. And I do know that Artefon sells cases, but they're separate, so they don't come with it. And I know that technically the next most comparable item would be the pocket operators from Teenage Engineering. However, I don't have one of those. I have one of these. Either way, they all fall into the same category of small, powerful, and portable. The packaging is really simple. It's literally like this cardboard paper sleeve. Inside the case, there's a quick start guide, and then you also get the actual unit already in the carrying case, and then some cables for you to use it with. Now, this thing is extremely slim. So it has this red physical power switch. It has a MIDI input, a line out, and a headphone jack, and it also charges by USB-C. It even has Bluetooth capability, which is really cool. It also features an LED screen, which is 2 lines and 4 characters each. Now, if there's anything that I've learned about synthesizers over the years is that you kind of have to just like jump in and just start pressing buttons and turning knobs and kind of just figuring it out. I went through a phase of being intimidated by synthesizers, especially when I see all of these buttons and these knobs, and I just have no idea where to start. Oh, by the way, if you are finding value in this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's a small gesture, but it goes a long way. Now, to be completely and fully transparent and honest, I will say personally, I don't feel like this is the most beginner-friendly groove box, simply because everything is abbreviated on this little screen. So if you're not used to working with synthesizers and you're still kind of getting used to some of the verbiage within this world, having it abbreviated might not necessarily help you get things off the ground as quickly as you would like to. I also feel like a missed opportunity is potentially having a glossary of some kind, maybe on the website, basically saying like when you see these 4 letters, it actually is abbreviated for this term. Again, this is kind of speaking for like the super beginner that wants to get into something like this, because it really is powerful and it's really small. And if you don't have a lot of space to begin with, this can be a great addition to your studio and your music making process. Now, of course, I didn't go through the entire website, so who knows, that glossary might exist and I don't know. Now, another thing that I feel might be a turnoff for a beginner is the fact that some of the instructions in the quick start guide is actually misprinted. I'm not sure if it's just my copy. I'm kind of hoping that it's just mine, or maybe just a few handful. One example would be how to switch modes. Now, in my copy of my quick start guide, it actually says in order to switch modes, you need to hold down the mode button and then turn the value knob. However, after a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration, and a little bit of digging on the internet, on YouTube as well, and including the Woovebox website, it's actually inverted. In order to change modes, you need to long press the value knob and then click one of the modes that you want to switch into. Now, because this is a new product on the market from a relatively new company, stuff like this can be a little bit of a turnoff or a big turnoff for someone, especially if you might be a beginner and this is the only thing that you have to reference from. Because I know it took me a little bit longer to put this video together because I was actually kind of struggling a little bit, because I just feel like if the instructions are misprinted for one portion of how to use this item, what's to say that some of the other instructions instructions that are printed on this are also incorrect. So I was actually waiting a little bit to see some other videos come out on YouTube that can be more of a guide for me. I do know that Woovebox has a YouTube channel, but at the time of receiving this unit, there weren't any tutorial videos posted by the company itself. Now, with all of that to the side, I think it's an extremely versatile groove box. It just took me a little while to like really get into it. But once I got into it and once I started getting the feel of it, it was a lot more fun to like mess around with. Now, after messing around with this enough to kind of figure out what's going on, I was able to put together a little bit of a demo using some of the built-in sounds that are already in here. But before we get to that, I really want to talk about today's sponsor, DistroKid. DistroKid is the leading distributor amongst independent artists. They're always developing tools to help us make our lives so much easier. And one of the latest tools that DistroKid has developed is Mixia. With Mixia, DistroKid members can put the final finishing touches on their tracks and have their songs release ready. And you can get an unlimited number of master tracks for just $99 per year. Now, nothing is ever going to replace a real engineer working on your tracks, but if you're short on time and limited in budget, Mixia is here to make your life easier. And of course, if you're not already a DistroKid member, go ahead and use my link in the description below and get 7% off your first year. Now, as promised, here's a sample of the demo that I put together. Now, please keep in mind, I was kind of still messing around, still getting the flow of things, but I feel like I had something towards the end that was definitely palatable. So here it is, and please be nice.